She's a saint, she's a salt of the earth, and she's dangerous. She's a rebel, vigilante, missing link on the brink of destruction. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, Definity, Devi, daCAT, SHIRO, DMC update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dash. Hello, Dash. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. It's done. Did I just get something in the mail? Yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. Copy that. Well, I'm gonna copy that. Thank you. Received. I had tweeted on this actual video that I posted I posted this video link on X. So it streams to X anyway, but just in case people don't see it and they saw it before, or they don't want to watch on X, they want to watch on YouTube, whatever, I post a link. I did post that I have now 260 million OMI, and I will try to get up to 300 at some point before by summer. Well, it's summer right now. The solstice was a few days back. It was trying to think, I would say before I go to what do you call it? Before I go to that charity event in Orlando, that's going to be mid to late August. I will have that 300 million, and that's if Devi and Definity stay the same. If they do, then I'll get that anyway. But if they don't and they go crazy, I'll get that number much quicker. I'll get up to maybe 350, 400. Today, let's take a look and see what we got here. Anytime. If you meow, any meow, I'll be able to meow. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the price of the OMI today and why I'm feeling a little more bullish and razzy than normal. Obviously, people are still a little high on the Lisbon trip, and everyone came back to that super pumped. So I still have a little bit of those feelings, even though I didn't actually go to that. That's something that I just saw everyone was pretty razzed about. And because I talk with Dr. Stuff pretty much every week, just because the OMI is my homie show, but then, every now and then we talk outside of that. Again, he's just feeling really bullish. He actually brought that up a little bit yesterday on the show when David was on. And then we had David on yesterday. So we had the questions that one of the bigger things that I saw, and he said OGs. He didn't say whales. And I don't think it's that he misspoke. I asked him a question where somebody had mentioned yesterday, it was Ernie Malice yesterday that had commented, he's a level 100. And he said like, hey, you guys had burned so much OMI from the vault, from the reserve wallet, but your guys' amount stayed the same. That might be a turnoff for a new investor that were to come in and say that, okay, well, the owners have a really large supply. So, and yeah, that's true. I've run into quite a few people over the years that do not like it when the creators have a lot of supply, because like, oh, well, they can dump, they have so much of the supply, they can sell on you, they could use you as exit liquidity. And I understand that, like, where those people are coming from, because it's true, anyone could do that. But if I were a new investor coming in and I see like, okay, David and Dan and Dr. Profit, but he's, third party, he's he's not a founder, he's not part of the company technically. I mean, Stacker, he made Stacker, and they work hand in hand with the Akomi team. But anyway, if I were a new person coming in to VeVe and Akomi, that is one of the things I would ask, like, okay, how much do the owners have? And it's like, okay, well, they got quite a bit. When do they get unlocked? Like when can they start to sell? It's like, well, actually the unlocks for them happened years ago. Oh, okay. Well, how much have they sold so far? Well, they haven't sold anything. It's like, okay. And it's been how many years? So they've started the company again, like 2017, 2018, but the tokens weren't unlocked, I think, until 21, maybe 22. And since then, all of them were unlocked, and again, no selling. So I was like, okay, if I were a new person investing, that would either say like, either they don't want to sell down here because the price is way too low, which it is, or that they're not in this for a quick, you know, a quick flip. I mean, you can't be in something for a better part of a decade and say, yeah, I'm going to flip it, because obviously it's not a flip at that point. That point it's just a long-term investment. And that's what I see with it. So I wouldn't be concerned, but I I would think, okay, and here's the other part of the question that I asked yesterday. Like, there's people like Pro the Doge who like basically got his name off of throwing everything he had into Doge and saying like, I'm gonna hodl. And I don't think he's ever sold a Doge. I was like, well, how does he make money? It's like, well, clearly, one, he's huge on Twitter. He's huge, like other like he works really whenever he needs, but he does a lot of partnerships. He does a lot of stuff. He's a whale. You know, he casually throws 30, 50K into projects all the time, right? Pretty crypto rich, and I assume dollar rich as well. So when I take a look at someone like that, I was like, okay, he has an issue of, you know, Doge can go to $10, and people might. I mean, not that I expect it to go to $10, but let's say it goes like something more reasonable, like $1 to $2, and it's like, okay, well, how does he move that? Well, now he might not have to. Now he might just say like, okay, I can use this as collateral for many things. So he could probably use that as collateral for what was it today? It wasn't like, I think it was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Let me go. And guys, there's so much stuff that they are talking about today. Liano, Harry Potter, Federal Reserve. All right, so Jerome Powell says future trade deals may allow federal interest to cut rates, which is great. 6 trillion asset manager Fidelity says Bitcoin and crypto continue to evolve. Duh. Trump says he started interviewing candidates to replace Powell. Thank God. All right, where's this news here that I was talking about before? White House's official accumulation plan. Okay, duh. Director of Federal Housing orders preparation for businesses to count cryptocurrency as an asset for a mortgage. I repeat, the Director of Federal Housing orders preparation for businesses to count cryptocurrency as an asset for a mortgage. So he could essentially take out loans on his Doge. He can use his Doge to just buy a house, be like, hey, we'll put this in an account. So they directed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to consider crypto assets as mortgage assessments, which is great. So that's a way he might not be able to, he can be able to unlock some of that liquidity that's in his Doge without actually selling. And David and Dan have the same issue. It's like, okay, you have so much of the token, but as soon as you sell, the FUDDers are going to come out. Now, I personally believe that they deserve every cent that they've worked so hard. They've been through heck and back. They deserve, like every penny that they get, right? However, if I were them, if I were David and Dan, and I think, okay, how do I sell this OMI, or how do I get some of the liquidity out of the money that I deserve how do I do that without people getting suspicious? Like, oh, see, they're dumping, they're going to dump on you and cause like a FUD storm. Which again, I think only the people that actually dislike the company or people that just want to remain relevant, those are probably the only people that are going to do that. And I feel like people that have been in the space for a while, they've matured, they've gone on and learned, like, okay, who should you kind of listen to, or who speaks in absolute truths and who tries to twist everything in such a way that makes the company look bad, or again, just because they want to feel relevant. So I think most people can see through that. Say most. So if I'm David, I'll go in and I'll say, okay, what if I do this? What if I go in and I say, for every dollar's worth of OMI I sell, I'll burn $5 worth of OMI. So I don't think it would be a bad idea for them to do that, because again, that allows them to unlock some of the liquidity. That allows them to unlock some of their own liquidity, and then it gets people excited because, like, it's not like they're adding more to the supply. Like that, no more can be added, right? Like it's completely deflationary at this point because of Stacker. Shout out to them for that. So maybe something along the lines of let's for everything that we sell, five as much gets burned. So you could essentially have billions get burned from the circulating supply. And I think that would be really cool. And they don't have to do it all. Well, they can't do it all at once. I mean, you know, a little bit at a time. We'll hear. I think that would be cool. But he said yesterday that they're looking at several things that they could do with that OMI, and part of it is actually giving some to the OGs. And again, he did not. I don't think he said whales. Maybe he did, and I'm just remembering it. But he said like the OG OMI holders. Now, when he says OG, I might not even be OG enough. I think he might be looking at people like Crypto Rain that bought in the pre-sale. He might be looking at like Puddin' Cheeks that bought in like 2020. I think Brock Blockchain bought. So I think him looking for people that bought like either as soon as the app launched in 2020 or even before then. And again, I would be even if I was not included in the OG people, and I bought in February. I think I made my VeVe account in February of 21. So I think that even if I'm not included in that, I'm still happy because that's going to people that have held long-term diamond hands. And again, it's a way now if I'm not getting it, most everyone here is not going to get it. But maybe he extends it to me like, okay, people that bought first half of 21. This way, like I'm included, right? And if he does that, cool, I get a little more. And in fact, what I'll do if that happens, and I'll make this public declaration, Wes, I hope you're listening because you tend to take things from here and put it on X. So I hope you get this word for word. If I am included in the if VeVe decides to go this route, if they go the route saying like we'll take some of our OMI and we'll give it to the OG holders, and I'm included in that, depending on how much I get, I will either take a percentage of it, like a significant percentage of it, like half, and I would put that towards the charity that I'm either going to start, or the charity that, or if it's or another charity like Best Friends Animal Hospital, something like that, or put it towards the CAT balance sheet, because that's going to go towards the charity eventually in the future. I'll either take half of it and put it there, or if it's a small amount, I'll just do the whole thing there. So I really do want to give back, and if I'm going to get that essentially for free, I think that should go back to helping the world. So again, depending on how much I get, I'll either, if that's the case, half of it will either go towards charity or go to a place where either it's sold and it goes to that charity, or goes into an account that is not going to sell for X amount of time and then go to charity. Or if it's a small amount, I'll just put the whole thing to charity. Again, depending on how much it is. So, Wes, if you're there, if you're listening, and they do that route, as the 85 of y'all is my witness. What's up, Jay Torres? Stacking those season 1 common DeLoreans, my man. Get that bread. And we got to get to Delorean as well. What's up, Jamar Reese? How's it going? Thank you. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Okay. Let's go to DMC. And I think on that I put why I didn't sell DMC, because I got a bunch of tokens. Well, they're like they're not worth a lot, especially since it's down like 70%, right? So I did not. They started at like $1.20. I think they went up to $1.60. Now they're down. Or I'm sorry, not $1. They were at like 1.2 cents. I think as soon as they unloaded, they were at like 1.6. As soon as they launched, and now they're down to like 1/2 of 1 penny. So down like 70%. So why did I not sell? Like Chavez, you had these tokens. They weren't locked up. Well, I had some of the tokens. Because they sponsor the channel. They, it was part cash and part tokens, and half of the tokens I was supposed to get, I got before the launch, and the other half, I don't know when. The other half I get at some point. And it's like, well, Chavez, you could have taken that half and sold. I could have locked in that price, which as of right now, yeah, if I would have sold at 1.2 cents, 1.6 cents, whatever it was at, he's like, well, Chavez, you could have done that and now, you know, you bought more. You could have bought the same amount and then netted the difference. I'm not really one for trading. I know some people do that, and I like to say, like, get cute, but you know, some people are successful at it. Some people, they do really well. Be like, yep, I'm gonna, in this range, I'm gonna buy down here, I'm gonna sell up here, sell a percentage up here, I'm gonna buy back down this, and it's a lot of looking at charts, and it's a lot of time, and some people are successful at it. Most are not, but some are. And I just didn't want to play that game. It's like, listen, DMC is one of those tokens, one of the only tokens that's just not just attached to a company, but it is attached to a company that's been around for like how long have they been making cars? At least 40 years, right? They make money. They've been around for decades, and they have all these crazy partnerships. The marketing, the amount of exchanges that they have, like, they did it right. Unfortunately, the way in which they, I don't know whether it was the KOLs or the partnerships or the exchanges. Again, they were on Binance. Binance is usually generally horrible with this. You know, that a lot of people just dumped, and then it like doubled. So it dumped to like 0038 or 4, like 4 whatever, and then it went back up to like 008. So people that had bought like the bottom yesterday had gone up, and then people started selling, and then now it's about, maybe it's up like 20% since the bottom yesterday. But again, that's the absolute bottom yesterday. So the reason why I'm holding is because I think, or I should say I know, that at some point, all of those people that wanted to sell, that whether it's the exchange like Binance or it's the KOLs or the people, like at some point, all of those people that got tokens, and I hope Delorean tracks this. I hope Delorean has all of the addresses that they sent to for the KOLs and the ambassadors, whatever. I hope they have those addresses and they track it, and they look at who sells and who doesn't. Because every single company that sponsored this channel that has given me tokens, I've never sold. I've never sold to any of those people. So I hope they go and they look at that, and then when they want to renew the sponsorship, they'd be like, you know what, you never sold, and we're going to reward you for that. So I hope they look at that, and that I did not contribute to the downward price, the downward sell pressure. Because again, at some point, that selling is going to stop. I don't know when that is, but whether it's token unlocks, people bought in the pre-sale, or KOLs, they're going to continue to sell, and you'll have this inflection point where the sell pressure will stop. The overall bull market will come in and be like, okay, what are these tokens that are attached to companies that have revenues, have been around for a while? Which companies are likely going to be here 6 years from now, 8 years, 10 years from now? Because if you're coming from TradFi, traditional finance, you're going to think like a VC. Like, are these companies going to be here in 10 years? Put out all the projections, broad spectrum, and let's go through all of them. Or they'll have like the interns, whatever, go through all of them. And I guarantee you DMC is one of those. Well, I should guarantee that Delorean is one of those companies. The token, which again, they're being very innovative with the electric vehicles, with the stuff in line, and adding the token to that. So right now, this is a fully diluted $64 million market cap, non-fully diluted like a 13 million. I'm not gonna lie, I have not looked at the profit and loss or the balance sheet or any of the line items on Delorean. But again, if you've been around for 40 years, yeah, you know, probably doing okay. Again, I haven't looked at it. I probably should. I haven't bought any down here, although I might. But again, it's on the SUI blockchain, and so this is the other thing. SUI is a major blockchain. I unfortunately had to get a slush wallet and try to learn how to use that in order to get these tokens. Excuse me, hiccups. And so if I want to sell, I'll sell for more SUI if I want, if I need. Again, relatively, but if I wanted to get some more, I have to go in and get more SUI. And I have to go in and use that to buy these tokens, which is fine. Like, I'll do it if I want to get more. I might. I think these are one of those tokens that I'm not going to have to worry about, where I could let this sit. And I think right now, again, fully diluted 64 million, right? But I think that they have enough marketing, they have enough of this awareness that non-fully diluted at under a $14 million market cap, I'm pretty sure this gets this goes pretty high. Because again, what does it show on CoinGecko? It only shows the I'll show you what I mean, because it shows both. But let's just do a token. I don't know. We'll pick a random one. Is Celestia one? I just saw on the okay. So like Celestia. Dear Princess Celestia, it's number 88 TIA. I have zero idea what this token's about. I have no idea what it is. And it shows a $1 billion market cap, like $1 billion and change, right? $1,085,891,019, right? And that's what it shows as the market cap on the CoinGecko main page. And then when you scroll down, it's like, okay, that is correct, but fully diluted, it would be 1.7. So even though Delorean right now, fully diluted, is like 64 million, the non-fully diluted, the market cap right now is just under 14. It's 13.6. So that's what it would show at. And I think what people would do is they'll take a look at this market cap and be like, bro, this is Delorean. And in a blow off top, again, it's on SUI, and they're pretty great. They'll continue to push this. I think that the potential for this, I mean, a 10x is crazy cheap in my opinion. For what this could do in a blow off top. So I'm going to keep these because again, at some point the sell pressure will stop and people start to buy. And again, this is just my opinion. Again, I don't even want to say I'm biased because the amount of tokens that I have is worth like nothing. And the amount of tokens that I'll get just based off the agreement is still good. It's not going to be much. But I'm talking about it because again, they have the partnership, so I'm going to talk about it. And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, guys, 1000x, load up, because that's not what I do. One, I don't give financial advice to any of you guys. Two, I don't believe that this would 1000x, because that would be 1/3. So 13 billion. 13 billion. Like, say if in what scenario? Let me go to the actual Delorean company. Car company. All right. How much does the Delorean Motor Company make? They don't have publicly available revenue figures. Current company owned by Stephen Wynn. Right, focus. Okay. Initial funding, they raised 200 million, including 100 million in Northern Ireland, 10 million from dealer investments. Oh, that was the original. They went bankrupt years back. This was years back. All right, let me go to Wikipedia here. Delorean Motor Company. John Delorean was videotaped in a sting operation, agreed to bankroll drug trafficking. That is wild. Okay, production output 9,000 estimate. Okay, born mechanic. Wynn founded the Delorean Motor Company, Texas. Entirely new company, not related to the original. Okay. Located in Humble, Texas, and shortly thereafter acquired the remaining parts inventory and registered his own stylized version of the DMC logo. Okay, man, got a nice facility. Credit finance, pay loan made wholesale. Okay, we're going 979. I don't care about that. I don't care about the downturn bankrupt. I wanted to see this new thing. 981. I don't care about 83. Folks tells Ireland tribute the failure of Delorean Company had destroyed the sacred ferry fort to build its factory. Delorean assembly plant was eventually occupied by French automotive supplier Montupet, which began to manufacture cast. Okay, that's fine. As of Montupet's acquisition in 2015, the factory employed more than 600 people. I don't care about that. A community of DeLorean enthusiasts reunite on a regular basis. The site's defunct test tracks where they renovated for low speed. To create a fleet that reached 62 DeLorean vehicles in June of 2024. Internally, development DMC was a car produced by DMC. 25,000, 70,000, 2019. It's a barn bumper. I probably should have done this before the show. I'm sorry, guys. 4-seater, 44. Okay. Let's just go to the actual source here. I don't care about the cookies. Reservation. I mean, I know that the reservations of this sold out. So they've got to be doing pretty well. I don't know the exact numbers yet. Also, God, I just got an email from Definity, and they are crushing it this month. They are crushing it. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so they have all of their. I think I don't know how many reservations they had that sold out. Make an offer on our and now on the secondary market of the reservations. They are reservations are $2,500 just for the reservations. God damn. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, that's wild. This might actually do better than I thought. This might actually do. Yes, might do a lot better than I thought. Let's and there's been multiple sales around the $2,500 market cap, or the $2,500 just for the reservations, which is insane. It's June 25 is today. What the fudge? Oh, okay, yeah, that's wild. Okay. Anyway, the secondary market's going nuts over that. I don't. 13 billion is insane for us. Like I said, I'm not going to say this is going to be like 1,000x or anything. But again, I am not selling right now because I think that this probably does a 10x at some point, and it might go higher. Again, I don't think it should go to that 13 billion. I don't even think it should go to 1.3 billion. But again, a lot of stuff in crypto does what should not happen. So we'll see. Again, I expect this to get well into the 9 figures. A 10x is just 136 million. I expect it to do probably a little bit higher than that. So that's why I'm keeping them. That's why I didn't sell. I don't necessarily need the money right now. I can afford to wait that out, and that's what I'll do. Now if it does like a 10x from right here, if I get my other tokens, small sum. But even then, it's not really worth it to sell at that point because it's not a large amount. If I get my other tokens and combined with these ones right now, and it does a 10x from here, it's like barely 5 figures, right? It's not a lot. Maybe take a piece of it and buy something else that's really down. Which again, we already went over OMI. Let me go over OMI again here, real quick, just to see what the where is it? And we have a lot. This is going to be a long show because we have a lot of news to cover. $1.73 million market cap. It's at, all right, I'm sorry, 1.73 million in volume for OMI. It's at 00019. Crypto Rain was on today, not on the channel, just on his own channel, and he was talking about. He talked about a lot of stuff. He talked about Devi as well, saying that he liked Devi down here. It was getting to a really juicy spot, and again we'll get to that. But he talked about OMI as well, saying that he really likes it at this price. So again, that's part of the reason why I have 260 right now. We'll get up to 300 at some point. And again, like OMI and Devi are the main things I'm focusing on. Because I have a lot of Definity, and I really need to like OMI from where I first bought it, 007. It's good that I get more down here, because I really want to I don't think my average will ever be in the triple zeros, but you know, 002 is cool. Even if I get it down 001, that would be great. I don't think that's again that could happen if I get to a little over $500 million, then it could happen. Get close to 001. But that's, you know, again, Definity or Devi has to go up in a pretty meaningful way, where I sell some of that in order to buy more OMI. So that does have to happen. Bill Gardner says Earth 2 Essence coin on me. Oh, my man. And yeah, Bill Gardner. So he actually, when Crypto Rain was talking about OMI, saying that he really likes it at this price, I might get more than him at some point, because I think he's got quite a bit more than me now. Or maybe, I don't know. I have to ask. So I'm at 260. He might be at that or higher. He's got so much more than me of everything else. Really, like the amounts of and I have a lot of Definity, and he has more than me, and I have a very small amount of Devi, and he has an insane amount more than me. So OMI might be the only thing that I might beat him in, or at least be close in. But he can get a lot really quickly if he wanted to. It's like me and Rolex in the, you know, who has more sub 100 Marvel NFT. I'll get. I legit had that. I was beating him for 5 minutes, and then he. Anyway, but he was talking about OMI today. He realized at this price. Same here. And on that show, Bill Gardner had him talk about Essence. And let's see, I think it's actually up today. It's up 5% today to 2.7 cents. It has been as low as 2.5-ish cents. Essence has, and yeah, it's just been destroyed by the bear market. And again, the Ben Gedenzi that had, you know, kind of a thorn in earth, like a big thorn in VeVe side for a long time, that he tried to scam Earth 2 as well. And he tried to get them to go on Go Chain, and he tried to get them to do you know, a bunch of stuff. And thankfully they realized quickly that he was scamming like everyone, and VeVe and Nakomi included. They're like, okay, let's stop this. So if it weren't for Ben Gedenzi, Earth 2 would have released like years ago, right? But the curse of that cancer of a man just, you know, followed him wherever he went. Anyway, I do like this. Again, Ben Gedenzi would not have gone after a company with that had nothing going for it, right? So I definitely need to get a good amount of Essence, because I think this 100x's, because the fully diluted market cap is 10 million, but the actual market cap has got to be so low. The only thing I do not like about this, well, I mean, there's a couple things that I don't like about it, but one of the only things that really makes it hard is the fact that there's 100,000 of Essence in the pool, but there's only $25,000 worth of Ethereum. So that's a big imbalance. And again, there's $25,000 of a token that has a $10 million, again, that's fully diluted market cap. I don't think there is a, I don't even think it's on CoinMarketCap. It's not. It's ESS does not register on CoinMarketCap. I was going to see if they had any other extra info, but they don't, which is fine. So that's the only thing that does make me worry a little bit about it. And the liquidity is not locked. You know, they can pull that really whenever they want. Anyway, I do want to get more of that. Let's go to SHIRO here real quick. Because SHIRO is relatively, how should I say, community project. You know, the devs are great. I've had Hero on the channel. He's like the face of the token. He's a cool guy. Him and his wife are great. But because nothing's really set in stone with the character, I kind of gave the character of SHIRO insane powers in the daCAT comic universe. So that's just part of it because it's funny, part of it because I needed it for the story. So if when SHIRO goes on VeVe and when SHIRO has their comic on VeVe and it sells out, and which we got to go over some of those numbers because VeVe did not have a good day today with their comics. It's Wednesday, so the comic numbers are out, and actually I need to. So I read Aliens vs. Avengers #4 finally, the completion of the story. It's 4 issues. The first Aliens vs. Avengers story that deserved to sold out because of me, but it deserved to sell out. That was so good. And the second one was good. I love Tony Stark's part in the second one. Glad I read it. Was definitely worth the read. The third one was just as good as the first, if not like better. Like the first one was so good, and the third one was so good too. So I really liked it, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. And I read the fourth. I'm glad I read it because it would have eaten at me if I didn't read it. But it was, and again, it's 46 pages or like 43, however much. So you get a lot of content out of it, and there were some good lines in it. There's some good dialogue. And again, glad I read it, but it was like, oh, okay. Well, you couldn't have done this from the start. Like we didn't know. And it was good. It was cool, but it was anyway. So not a lot of people read these, and it's as evidence today where they made like $2,000 on the NFTs for the VeVe comics. Now, granted, this is 1 week, whereas depending on the week, every now and then something comes out like once a month, maybe twice a month. You get something that like, oh, this comic's coming out, and it sells out like pretty quickly, and people get it, and it's awesome, right? And that's usually, and again, this is on the NFT side of VeVe Comics. So the NFT side of VeVe Comics, you usually get that once a week. It's like, oh, okay, it's a nice $7 grand, 10 grand, whatever stuff that they're doing anyway. This was not one of those days. They made like $2 grand on all the comics that dropped today. Now, granted, there's maybe like 10 titles, 12 titles. And again, this is just from Marvel. I don't know what the numbers are for Dynamite or Bad Idea or any of the other comic book brands that we have. But for Marvel, yeah, like I cannot wait for daCAT to come out, because if it's a week like this, daCAT will outsell everyone. I repeat, on a week like this, daCAT would outsell everyone, and that's going to be major. So I really like the fact that that will happen. Well, it's great for daCAT, maybe not so great for VeVe and Marvel. And this is why I want VeVe to buy part of daCAT, because like there's an episode of, I think it's called In the Middle. It's with the janitor from Scrubs and Deborah from Everybody Loves Raymond. They're like parents, Mr. and Mrs. Heck, and they have their middle child is like Sue Heck, and I forget the older and the younger one, but they split up the parenting duties this one episode, and the older son and the girl, the mom's in charge of that, and the younger son, the dad's in charge of that. Like, hey, split up the parenting duties because we're all trying to do 3 different things with 3 different kids, and let's just split up the responsibilities. And the older son and the daughter, they like, something happens in school, they heck up, and they, no pun intended, and it's just not a good week for them, right? But the little kid, he like aced his science quiz, he like made a new friend, and when the parents like staying up one night, they're talking, They're like, hey, maybe I should, you know, the dad's like, maybe I should be the one to, you know, take a little off your plate there, and you know, I'll take another kid because the kid I'm in charge of, he's on fire. I would like that to happen between David and the executives at Marvel. Be like, hey, you know, here's the tweets that we put out. Here's the and they are working. And when I say that, I mean like they are doing the work. I feel like I'm the only one that comments on these, but whether it's on X, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they post out like, hey guys, here's our new comics coming out this week on Wednesday. And I always put in hearts, I always put in cool or awesome. And I feel like everyone should do that. I'm earning this page. Like I'm the one that's working for my bags over here. Anyway, they do that, so they bring awareness to it. And again, the physical comic book industry has been on the decline for many years, right? It was on the decline in like the 90s. Like it really was like X-Men and Spider-Man and all that kind of really brought people back. And then the MCU that really bring it back. But physical comic book sales have been declining for quite a while. And some of the stories are great. Most of them are, but what I want David to do is to pull a Mr. Heck from that In the Middle show. Again, I think that's the name of it. And I want him to buy part of daCAT. So this way VeVe owns part of it. And when daCAT comes out and daCAT sells out, makes all this money, and the rest of the, because again, for the Marvel comics this week on this Wednesday, as far as the NFT versions go, made a couple grand. What it wasn't that good. They were pretty underwhelming numbers. Now again, that's the NFT versions. That is not including the digital read-only files, because you have all of those. You have a bunch of people out there that they want to get this, but you know, $7 might be a lot for them, but maybe $4 or $5 isn't as much. Or maybe they just don't like NFTs because you know they're evil, and they just want the digital read-only copy, right? So I want David to go and say like, hey, Marvel, you know, we did the same amount of marketing for our own project, daCAT, as we did for your comics, and we have a character that just sold out. We have a character that just made all this money, and then you have these other characters in here that nobody's ever heard of these titles. Like ask anyone at your company, what does daCAT do? What does you know, Space Penguins do? What like who are they? Guarantee you nobody at Marvel knows who they are because they're my creations, right? So I want David to go and say like, not that he could do, maybe he could be like, you know, your characters, here's what they're doing, but here's the numbers that the characters that VeVe owns. This is what they're doing, and the characters that VeVe's in charge of, they're on fire. That's what I want David to be able to say to Marvel in the future. Anyway, that's let's go over daCAT, shall we? I've been this 43 minutes. I've taken too many sponsors here. Let's go to daCAT and see what they're up to. They're down about 0.5% on the day, about $1,000 in trading volume at a $1.1 million market cap. So again, down 0.5%, and just 1,000 in trading volume, but $1.1 million market cap. Again, if you take a look at the 7-day, they had a big sell off a few days ago, and then been a slow ride up since then. Get back there eventually. Keep y'all posted. Anyway, let's go. More other stuff. Dope Flamingo says today we got even more Pengu ETF. Wait, really? Send me that. I want to see. Send me that. I'm very curious. Oh, I love that KCBMW does these, you know, drops, you know, what's going on each day on VeVe. I thought that was really cool. Shout out to VeVe for going on and resharing that. I think that's awesome. Awesome that they do that. Bill Gardner, give me those dabs. What up, Bill Gardner? How's it going, man? Okay, we did SHIRO, did daCAT, we did DMC, we did OMI. Let's do some Devi, and then let's do some Definity right after. And then we'll get to the news, and there is a lot. There's a lot of news. Yeah, what's up, Sean Berg? How's it going, fam? Yeah. Devi's up 7% on the day, up to 44 cents. Not bad. They had wicked up to like 50 cents a few hours ago. Like they had wicked up super high. I was like, oh, and then back down now. Let's take a look at what the Devi is doing on the day here as far as volume. They are at 631,000 in volume, $39 million market cap. We actually have a little bit of news, I guess, from their Telegram for Devi. There, oh, this might be there. Regulatory landscape. Who's this for? What did I? Okay, somebody asking when will big partnership be unveiled? Is it on hold because of bad market conditions? I understand it's better to be released when times are better to catch a wave. There's a guy named Kiddo saying, just waiting for regulatory landscape to unfold. Releases won't be planned around perceived market conditions based on price appreciation. From the news that's already been mentioned, you can see that we are in a great place to help TradFi enter DeFi space. From that, you can see that Devi will be a leading player in the entire ecosystem and will be at the front line of innovation going forward. That's one of the things. And there's got to be, okay, here's some more. They had a Devi roundup today as well, where they just had an interview. And I think this was actually from last week. Ledge says, I'm beyond hyped by this roundup. Honestly, I hope nobody takes offense, but I can't understand how you can say there are no significant updates in it. Just off the top of my head, totally awesome to hear that UX on Devise has materialized, connecting the dots from last week as Tom being impressed by AVE model. This is going to be awesome. To have all the benefits that DEVVX offers with its partners, patents, and regulatory compliance, coupled with the ease of use and DeFi innovation offered to large investment institutions, is beyond mind-blowing. The active management of a third-party treasuries is such a big brain move and gives us an incredible edge. Not only do you provide safe space for institutional or company treasury, but you also protect the downside to an extent with low risk. And exploring implementing treasuries not only native, but also at the company side. Help! First ever exchange to have integration and reliance on big TradFi provider of trading technology. We already knew this, but a confirmation will be unique to the next behemoths like Coinbase is pretty comforting. Exploring becoming a public company that generates revenue and a standard business model is also something new and very good to hear, as it aligns with traditional business model, respect capabilities that come with it. Less tokens, but in higher amounts. I don't have to translate the ambition/vision of that, do I? One word, premium. Modifiable rules of liquidity caches. Imagine big players stepping into it and creating their own financial vehicles, either for themselves or for their customers. Endless possibilities and magnitude. I had a fantastic time digesting this and can't wait to see all of it in action. Keep them coming, and thanks to Blybox and Tom Devi. Tom enters that Devi. This is why I've been trying to stack so much recently. And I say like so much, it's not worth a lot at all. But trying to stack as much as I can, my little wee amounts of Devi. Like I said, I'll get more. My biggest bag right now is Definity, and I want to get OMI. I'd love to get OMI up to that level. I'd like to be able to buy an amount of OMI that gets me up to the level of Definity. Same with Devi, but it's in the 5 figures. Not a high 5 figures, but it's in the 5 figures. Now, granted, it's at 45 cents. At all-time high, it's technically worth 6 figures for Devi, so that'd be nice. What is it? 45? Yeah, at all-time high is like $1.80. So if, when it gets back there, then yeah, I'll have that. But as of right now, I wish I would have bought more when it was at 34 cents. It's at 44 cents now, which 45 cents, which again is not bad. I still give me an extra 100K right now, and yeah, I'd get some more down here, because it's not for me it's not a bad price to get, and I would have liked to have gotten more. I have like 2K in ETH that I was like, okay, just make it go down to like 25 cents and I'll get a lot more, and it just never happened. I thought it might have that chance, and I guess it still technically might, or it could go back up to 90 cents and it's like, okay, well, should have bought more when I was down. You're never gonna time the bottom. It's just very frustrating, as I was like, okay, buy a little more here, dip, buy a little more here, down another 20%. But and just kept doing that for quite a while. It's like, oh. Anyway, let's get up to Definity here, and then actually let me get some more comments because a bit lax on those. We thinking OMI down for a while yet, or what do you think? Yeah, OMI's been down, or will it be down for a while longer? I see more money going into the NFT space, and there is a bit more going into VeVe, and I think the thumbnail of this is people are buying more comics and collectibles. At least that's what I saw on Facebook, and on X it's kind of like 50-50. I see people that get both a lot of comics and collectibles, and again on X it looks 50-50. I'll put out a poll on that, but on Facebook they're all about the comics, and there's some people that buy comics and collectibles, but they buy more collectibles, and then there's some people that are kind of 50-50 with it, but generally they're a bit more on it. So I see money going into the NFT space, and I see all of these companies that are and we'll go over it when I get to the news. All of these companies that are going in and they're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe like Solana and XRP and Doge and stuff, right? But it hasn't made it to alts yet. It will. That's what always happens. In Pokemon, you buy what you grew up with, then you buy the stuff around it, and then you buy trophy cards. In crypto, you buy all of the stuff that's stable, like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, Doge, XRP. Like they buy like the top 10, and then they'll buy a little bit of like the top 100, and then it flows into alts. So it's going to happen, and I just don't know when. So I see it might take several more months, because a lot of people right now are really just buying like paper Bitcoin, because you can't have all of these companies buying hundreds and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and ETH, and it's like staying where it is. That doesn't really make sense. So at some point, it's going to absolutely rip. I don't think it will happen until rates are cut, and we're probably going to have to wait several. Well, the first rate cut might be in August. It might be in July, it might be August. I know that Powell is a absolute. I'm not even going to say he's a moron, because he knows what he's doing. He just doesn't like Trump. He wants to hurt Trump, and he's smart enough to be able to say like a bunch of stuff that doesn't really make sense in order to justify him not cutting rates. And he's putting his own personal politics above what's good for the country, which is absolutely shitty. And he should never hold a position of power again. He should be immediately fired. He should never be allowed to work in finance or any position of power. But again, this is the reality we have. He says like he'll kind of put on that carrot stick. Well, if we get some deals done, then maybe we can cut rates. But that's what he says, and what he does probably be another thing. Again, I hope Trump fires him. When we get rate cuts, that's when we'll be able to go in and get the market ripping. So we probably have several more months of it being down here, which makes me think that I could get that I could get that billion OMI. I might not, but I think I could. Like I said, 300 minimum, and then $500 million is probably a reasonable goal if OMI stays down here and the other stuff goes up, and then I'll be able to get that. VeVe Zombie says, "Yo, what up, Zombie?" Kuma said, "What's up, Randy fam? How's it going, guys? I love you. I love you all." Flash dismissed, not dismissed. Class is in session. Was Randy got a billion OMI? Just get a billion. So I could get a billion OMI right now, but I'd have like nothing left of anything else, and I'm not doing that. So up 260. I'll be able to get another 40 million over the next under 2 months, month and a half. And then again, I'll still be trying to get a little more Devi, unless something rips. If OMI rips like tomorrow and suddenly we're at 001, probably not going to happen right away. But it's like, okay, well now I'm not going to be able to get that, because right now it's $200, like $195 for a million OMI. Once $1,000 for a million OMI, like, oh, okay, that's going to be hard. Randy, VeVe la Randy. Randy continuously trickling into VeVe and daCAT. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love I've been searching for? What song is that? I'm not familiar with the song. I want to sing like, is it love that I'm feeling? Is it? No, but it's not. I know it's not, but anyway. Let's go to Randy. Rain said OG OMI rewards would be hard to administer. Let's talk it out. Need some blockchain analysis to verify, right? Yeah, I mean, we kind of know who they are. So it really just on what parameters. Is it like OG's 20, like December 31st, 2020, and before that? Is it the first half of 2021 and before that? Like what are OGs? Like, I think we need to define that before we go and see other stuff. Yep, Delorean Labs. Woo. That would cause us West. La 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 la. Burn that OMI instead of giving it away. In my opinion, well, it doesn't do anybody any good if I burn it. So I would definitely want to give it to charity. And then also, if anyone has earned it, me. So I'm depending on how much it is, I'll either just for charity or half charity than half me. Anyway, let's get to some of the know how to do it efficiently. Very good, very good. All right, let's get to some of the news. Oh no, Definity. We're not done. We're not done yet. Like I said, I just got a. Oh, we are down 12% on the day for Definity. Oh no, that was the yeah. We were down 12%. We were at 3.2 cents, 3.3. Well, we're at 2.8 cents now, and 15,000 in volume on the day. 4.9 guys. They are absolutely crushing it for the Definity markets, and I am very happy. How many days are left this month? I got one. Is this the 25th? This is 25th. Okay, so 1, 2, technically 3 more working days, which might wind up being 2, but 3 more working days. I'm gonna say at least 2. They're doing all right. They are doing quite well. And they have a lot of stuff that they're working on that they'll be able to continue making even more money through the end of the year. I think before the end of the year, they're doing $1 million a month added to their P&L. They have low cost. They have really intelligent people working with them. They've been working with them for a while. They're very loyal, and they are crushing it. I need more of the company. I need more of it. I don't. I have so much. Maybe I should get more of the token. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And that we'll see if I can get any other institutions to buy into the channel, and then we'll go from there. My back. Let's go over some of the news here and we have a ways to go for the news. So this, like I said, this is going to be at least probably a 2-hour show. How young I was. Look at how hot I was. Look at how suave. Look at that hair. Okay. Binance CEO says not all tokens will reach new all-time highs. CZ says, remember, by definition, everything before the next all-time high is a dip. The obvious question is, will there be an all-time high? Only a small number of strong coins will do that. Look for long-term staying power and growth potential. OMI. Yeah, long-term growing power and staying potential. BlackRock and Fidelity 2 days ago bought 35,900 ETH worth 86.3 million. President Trump says his and his NATO counterparts are due to gather for summit. That was 2 days ago. It's old news. Economics. Why does Devi's tokenomics have a phase 1 and phase 2? Devi's business model overall includes oversight by the Forever Association to utilize and issue Devi towards creating value in the overall ecosystem that Devi supports. Forever will use Devi in issuance to create value for Devi, its ecosystem, and its stakeholders. The total available supply in this type of model is not the most important measure of the token and how it's managed. What is more important is market cap. which is circulating supplies times the price, and how new issuances of DEVVE are used by Forever to create value for the ecosystem. That is how Forever should be judged. It is expected that the majority of tokens in phase 2 will be unknown tokens. There's no owner who can sell them for profit, and therefore they are not part of the circulating supply, primarily used for creating liquidity underlying the DEVVE exchange. In phase 1, while DEVVE is implemented as an ERC20 token, there's a hard cap of 300 million tokens max supply. This puts DEVVE into a framework that is more familiar to the current crypto space. Only approximately 100 million tokens are scheduled to be issued by Forever over the first year. Beyond that, issuances will be made in a way that creates value for all stakeholders. And phase 2 is intended to happen at some point in the future when phase 1 has demonstrated effectiveness of the model, where the additional token of issuances can be reliably made to grow the ecosystem. At that time, a much fuller definition of rules around issuances will be made available. Phase 2 also requires a bridge from Ethereum to DEVVEX. For DEVVE, do a bridge from Ethereum to DEVVEX could happen before phase 2, i.e. the bridge is required for phase 2, but phase 2 is not required for the bridge, kind of like the square and the rectangle thing. Phase 2 may never actually be used if phase 1 allows for the needed issuances to effectively grow the DEVVE ecosystem. Then it will not be implemented. Similarly, issuance may instead be defined to be drawn out over a very long time period of many decades. By the time phase 2 could become feasible, it will have constraints and implemented to make sure issuances continue to grow the DEVVE ecosystem. So that's news on DEVVE. Pengu, or Pudgy Penguins, ran the opening bell at NASDAQ with Van Eck, and Trump announced a ceasefire. That all happened on the same day, which is nuts. Trump just said the Fed rates should be 2 to 3 points lower. I don't think Powell can hold rate at current levels for long. At rate cut could happen sooner than expected. That is from Ash Crypto Real. People are hoping for rate cuts in July. CoinMarketCap says, beware of scammers trying to impersonate CoinMarketCap members. CoinMarketCap does not have a phone number and will never call you. When in doubt, always contact CMC-CS for verification. CoinMarketCap.com/request. BlackRock just bought $217 million worth of Bitcoin. Insane. The OMI token is now on the balance sheet of both Definity Markets, a institution, and daCAT Chronicles. daCAT Chronicles is the small little reserve that we have for daCAT, and we have $1 trillion daCAT. We have less than $1 trillion in daCAT is like less than $3,000. The amount of ETH we have is less than 1,000, and the amount of OMI we have is less. It's 3 million OMI, so it's a really small amount. But it will grow. It is small right now, with about $4,000, but it will grow, and it will add stuff to it, and we'll get it up to over 100K before the end of the year. Wes says, very cool. Yeah, thank you. Dr. Strange, what's going on, Dr. Strange? How you doing? And Bill Garner, thank you for the super chat. I am currently, I got to go to VeVe for this because I don't know how to get it. And I'm going to have to scroll for a while, aren't I? Yeah, I'm going to have to scroll. You're getting me home, Cherie. I want what you got along with me. And isn't my love strong enough? I'm ready to rock you. All right, here we go. In less than 2 days, I might have a 1 of 1. In less than 2 days, I might have a 1 of 1 on VeVe. I don't even want to say what it is, because if I do, someone's going to outbid me for it. But as of right now, I am the lead bidder in a 1 of 1 on VeVe. And it'll, if it holds for another 42 hours, I win. Oh my God. And it's, oh my God, it is so cool. I wanted to ask David about this yesterday. Oh God, Alex Ross. Oh God. Guys. Alex Ross is so freaking cool. I love this man so much. And I'm about to get 1 of 1. I might, it's just letting y'all know. incredible. Can I go over this? Good news. Okay. X has suspended almost 1.8 million accounts related to inappropriate child exploitation in just a few months. In addition, over 300,000 accounts were reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, also known as the NCMEC. Quote, "We will never stop using the full extent of our capabilities to eliminate these harmful practices." That is a quote from X. I want to know, like, did the original owners of X or Twitter, did they know that this was happening and just allow it? That is insane. But almost 1.8 million accounts related to horrendous child exploitation. You know what I'm getting at. In just a few months, and the fact that there had to be new owners for that, heckin' wild, right? Glad that was taken down. Japan's Metaplanet plans to raise $5 billion to buy more Bitcoin. My God, that is wild. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says inflation eased significantly, but remains somewhat high. I hate that man so much. DMC is now live on DMC is on like all the exchanges. Let me give y'all a list here of the DMC token and what exchanges they're on. Bluefin, BitGet, Thetis, Mexi, Gate.io, HTX, KuCoin, Bing, X, Kraken, XT.com, BMX, Orbit, Hotcoin, Biofin, Bitcan, Kraken, Bluefin, CoinX, Thetis, Hibit, Bit2Me, Cube Exchange, Blockfin. I don't know why they don't have what is it called? I don't know why they don't have Binance on here, because they're 100% on Binance. FHFA with 7.5 trillion is now planning Bitcoin as a valid asset for mortgage approval. That is great. Polymarket nears 200 million fundraising at valuation of over $1 billion. Jesus, that's insane. What's up, Vegan Thing? Vegan Thing is my man. How you doing, brother? VeVe Zombie says, "Is juicy prices right now?" I know. We're number one. We're number one. Devi says, "How do you stop another FTX from happening? Simple. You don't allow an exchange to have custody over your assets. Devi's architecture and speed make it possible for users to transact on-chain while still retaining custody over their assets." Link down below for the Devi exchange. You know you want to join. Delorean Labs says the DMC token on Sui network has just begun, but early short-term volatility is just a bump in the road. Delorean Labs is all in for the future, crafting Web3 ecosystem that blends Delorean's legendary brand with real-world impact. DMC is more than a token, it's a revolution. Definitely written by AI. We're building DMC with purpose, and here's what's around the corner. Real-world asset for the future. DMC fuels Delorean's next-gen vehicle reservations, an exclusive perk linking crypto to tangible value on Sui's fast blockchain. High APY, staking on the horizon, soon stake DMC to earn rewards and power our ecosystem. And also more exchanges incoming. When they get that staking and people lock it up, it's going to be great. New listings will expand DMC's global reach, expansive real-world advertising campaigns, and upcoming Web2 events on the horizon. Stay tuned for space announcement with upcoming interviews with Evan Kun. Volatility fades, vision endures. With DMC, we're paving the way for Web3 and mobility. Join us on our journey in launching the world's first tokenized vehicle. Paris-based Internet of Things firm Sequans to raise $385 million via debt and equity offering to acquire Bitcoin. VMS Group, which is a $4 billion Hong Kong family office, makes first crypto foray. And MasterCard expands stablecoin push with Paxos, Fiserv, and PayPal integrations. More bullishness for crypto. And then Pompliano's ProCap acquires $386 million worth of Bitcoin at $103,000. That is amazing. So why did Ari say for Essence when it released will be $8? I don't think he said that was going to be the floor price. If he did, he was dead wrong. I think he thinks that might be the price that it finds when trading in a greater bull market. But again, if he did say that, he was dead wrong. I don't think he would have said that though. I'm going to stack so much the cat comics. Same here, fam. Same here. It's going to be great. Jose Torres says, "Hell yeah. Finally, Stacker swaps live and listing working again. Is it? I thought it was not. I think it was only live temporarily because I went on before and it said no. Was able to secure my second AF15 ultra rare with my first ever exchange on Stacker World. Actually, I have to bridge a lot of my. I hear my dog. He's so cute. Regardless, Essence has confirmed sales at $4 when it released. And dramatic. That's true. It did. It did. People be buying from there. I remember. It's bridge 26666. I am doing my part, and I'm going to bridge a bunch of OMI from Ethereum to base. You are welcome. Oh, my back. Oh, my other back. Oh, my body. Oh, God. Sorry. It hurt. I was able to secure my second AF15 ultra rare with my first ever exchange on Stacker World. Let the OMI burn. This is from a Jose Torres. Shout out Jose Torres. Malde, I just pulled an ultra rare Spider-Man. Oh, sweet. Okay, so I read the first one. Dude, the first Spider-Man versus Predator is so good. That is so good. How many of those are in the freaking? Because it was so good. Spider-Man versus Predator was. It was great. Let me do Predator with the comics. Ow. Predator vs. Spider-Man 2. Wow, the second one did not sell a lot at all. But let me check the first one. Last time, Predator vs. Spider-Man #1. Yeah, even the first one didn't sell that much, which is wild because the first one was amazing. Like especially the end. It's like, I haven't. The first one was so good. I haven't read the second one yet. So I do have to get that. Is there Black Panther? All right, 4 in the market for $20 for the common, 200 secret. All right, I even have? I might even already have one. Silver Surfer. Oh, I do have one. I have the second one, and it's an ultra rare. Oh my god, I have to read that. Okay, all right, I'm good. But I do have to get the third one as well, because I have to. Haven't gotten it yet. Or was Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says they are not cutting rates because the forecasts show a meaningful increase in inflation this year. Like, I hate that dude so much. Kuma says, who do you think the big new IP is that David is teasing? You said I'll go nuts if it's DBZ. My guy. Do you know? The Muffin Man? I will go nuts if it's DBZ. I will. Sorry, titty dance. If it's DBZ, I'll go crazy. Is it gonna be? I don't know. I don't know what I want it to be because David said yesterday he wants to really market to Gen Z, and Gen Z doesn't. I don't know if they really do DBZ. DBZ is like I feel like I'm Unk status now. You know, like because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm not a young man anymore. Well, to a 50-year-old, I might be a little young, but to a teenager, I might as well be dead, right? 34 to a teenager is probably a little old. But I think, like my generation, we love Dragon Ball Z. Like that is, but then Dragon Ball Super came out, so I feel like a lot of younger people probably do still like it. They probably do. They love it as much as we do. I don't know, but they definitely do still like it. I don't know if that's when I think Gen Z. I think like a Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, and again, that's a really big license. But so is Ubisoft, right? Ubisoft is a big license, and not Katy Perry. What's the name I'm thinking of? Blackpink. Blackpink's the most popular girl band in the world, and we didn't really get that many signups from it, or we got a decent amount of signups, but not really a ton of active users from it. So, yeah, I don't know how to get. Even if we do try to connect with Gen Z, how do we get them in here? How do we get them to be here and spend? Like, I think we really need games. I think we really need a way, like use AI in the collectibles. Like use AI in like an Anna and Elsa, right? Use them there in the VeVe verse to make them move like them, make them talk like them, and and there might not be enough like there might not be enough content out there to make them really talk like, because I don't, again, they have movies and the movies are huge, but it's not like they have, let's say we have like, and we should have Recess, we have freaking Disney, we should have Recess, right? There's only so much content that you can get out of Anna and Elsa versus the content that you can get out of Vince LaSalle or TJ Detweiler or Ashley Spinelli from Recess. Who are the other ones? Gretchen Glumber, Gus Griswold, and yeah, those. Oh, and Mikey, forget his last name. There are countless episodes of multiple seasons of those kids being who they are and the character development. Like, there's maybe a couple of hours of content for Elsa and Anna, but there are dozens and dozens of hours from these kids, and they have a couple movies to boot. So I think it would be easier if we were to be able to get a collectible that has a ton of history that we could use with AI and have them talk to us, answer as if we were them, or they could answer as if they were actually them saying it, like in that perspective. And then if they do a really good job with a couple of them, then people are like, oh, bro, I'm going to get these, because when they introduce AI with this collectible, then we'll be able to go in and, then the price will go out crazy. So I think that if they can do that like once per quarter or a couple times per quarter, introduce AI with the collectibles in the VeVeverse in that way, and then people think like I remember in 2022, 21, 22, Gary Viner, I went to VCon. Yeah, I think it was 22. I went to VCon and I ran into somebody there that had like 100 something Electras. And I was like, damn, you have like a lot of Electras. Like, Electra's like cool, right? I was like, well, yeah, the character, I know the character from a bunch of different places. Obviously, most recently, Daredevil in the Netflix series. I was like, yeah, she's awesome. I was like, yeah, she's pretty dope. I was like, but like, it's not her in the VeVe or in VeVe. Like, she's a little messed up. And he's like, yes, but either they fix her or they don't. And I was like, yeah, they have been fixing other collectibles. And he's like, yeah, I think they'll upgrade Elektra. And I was like, and obviously they haven't really done that yet. But that goes to show there's a lot of people that think like that. Like, if we get a couple of these characters in the VeVeverse, like in AI, like Vision would be perfect, because you have a couple of movies with him, but you also have a bunch of comics with Vision as well. And you could say, answer the question in the perspective of Vision from Marvel Comics, from the MCU. And there's enough content there to be able to get him to answer. And you do it with all the Marvel characters. And then if they do that for a couple of them, then people are like, oh, soon I'll be able to have conversations with Anna and Elsa. Soon I'll be able to have conversations with Jasmine, Aladdin, the Genie, Robin Williams. So and there was an Aladdin show as well. Although Disney really doesn't like Aladdin. Disney has this weird thing with like it's always been seen as like racist. And again, I don't think so. Anyone that grew up with Aladdin didn't think that at all. It was just a really cool movie with really cool characters, good music, good, again, Robin Williams, genius, amazing. But that's why like the Aladdin series like isn't on Disney Plus, right? That's why they tend to never really talk about that, because of like the thorn in the side of what people used to say about it. But people would love to see that. Like, if you get AI that's really good in some of these characters, then people think, like, okay, this character will be great. Like, Happy Tree Friends, that would be really cool. It'd be really cool with a lot of stuff. So I think that, and I don't know how I got to that from the IP David. Okay, the IP David, yeah. DBT would be great. We could have an amazing Goku collectible, and then just imagine him with AI, like talk like Goku. There's so much content. They would be able to do that with Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Trunks, just all the Saiyans, then all the Namekians and all the humans. It'd be so good. Ben in Korea, thanks for being a member, says, what's your favorite way to buy Essence? I just buy it on Uniswap. Yeah, it's only on Uniswap. Is this Love by Whitesnake? Oh, I don't know. Was that Love by Whitesnake? Rip Tawny Tane. She made one of their videos, very memorable. They're comment F down below, pair specs. Mm-hmm. It's an 80s rock love song called Is This Love by Whitesnake. Had to get that amazing Spider-Man 55 secret rare red web head cover. Yeah, so that's another thing that I saw, like, when, again, coming from the title, what are people getting? And people seem to be getting comics more, because now today's Ultraman drop did not make a lot of money at all. 2,222 editions, so okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So they've, I don't know how much they kept from that. The 200, what are we at, 18, so 400. Okay, there's actually $15 here. So it made like $6,000. Which, again, $15 might seem like a lot, but it's 186 pages, so you're getting a lot of content for that. But let's look at the last few. Let's look at the last few comics that we had on VeVe. Amazing Spider-Man number 5. This has 14, 15, 16, 17, 1,800 left. So out of, let's say, 4,700, 1,800, so let's say 2,900, right? And I think this was $7. Oh, this is $10. Oh, wow. This made $29,000. Like this comic made 29. Like that's really good for a comic. And granted, I know it's Spider-Man, like it's the first time, it's the first meeting of Spider-Man and Dr. Doom. How did they even do this? Dr. Doom hears J. Jonah Jameson news broadcast regarding the menace of Spider-Man, so Doom sends a message to Spider-Man through his spider senses. Oh, that's really cool. I actually want to read this. When was this actually? This is probably, yeah, 1963. That is really cool, though. I actually want to read this. But anyway, they made like 29. They made a lot of money with that. So and again, like the count. This is first appearance count, where the secret rare is pretty scarce. And this says, okay, so it was 1184, right? So it'd be 320, 323. What was it, 30? Okay, this actually made almost 10K now, which is a lot. Like the first day, it was not like that, but this almost made 10K now. And what's the count secret rare going for? It is going for $100. Okay, might get that at some point. So you have the most recent comic making almost 30K. You have the count making about a third of that. Now let's go to Nova, 1976. The VeVe will load for me. This had, okay, 3,000 editions. Okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, hold on. Okay, so it's 720, 920, 1,020. All right, so like 1,050. So 2,700. Say like 1,600. So this also made 5 figures, 11,000. So this made more than the count. So again, comics are doing really, really well. So this made like 11,000 something for that comic. And then the comic before that is Amazing Spider-Man 55, which is what you had taken a look at, and Corrigible Goat Slayer. 3,000 editions on this, and this almost sold out on 50, 60, 80. This has like 90 things left. So is it 20? Say 2650. I don't know how much we're taking out. So this also did $18,000. Like these comics are doing really, really well. The comics on the VeVe comics, which again they made like $2,000 today, not that great. But these other key ones, really, really well, really, really, really well. And again, Maserati made like 45K. So June they probably make like $250,000. Probably a little bit more. But that's what they're making right now. And Patrick Leeson cover went bananas, hence the multiple there. Yeah, the cover's incredible. The biggest brother. Let's go, Randy. Hope you get her, man. Get who? I mean, I don't want to kiss and tell. Dude, water is so good. Also, I don't know why. I never really had Popeyes. I was always a Taco Bell, Wendy's kind of guy. Every now and then I get like Burger King. But I was always like a Taco Bell, definitely Taco Bell. McDonald's breakfast is good. Wendy's Baconator is good. I had my stuff. I just never really had Popeyes. I had KFC with the ex. She was a big KFC gal. I actually have a picture of us with my. It's inappropriate, but good times. If only VeVe knew the position that I put this man in. Anyway, I had Popeyes today, and it was amazing. Blows other stuff out of the water. Anyway, but I hope we get her. I mean, there's a. I don't want to say I can get anyone I want. Let me elaborate on that. Got another fat bag, my man. Call me filthy. Getting the fat bag. Getting the fat bag of what? Let me know. Let me know. I love this game. All right, where am I on the? No, we're still on yesterday's news. All right. Crypto Cosmos thing. What up, bro? Crypto Cosmo. I love you so much. I know you're probably super busy in everything that you do. I don't care how often it is, but I think once a week you should just turn on a camera and be like, "Hey guys, here's what I've noticed in Web3." And even if it doesn't involve VeVe at all, like you could make it involve VeVe. Like I took your post the other day that said somebody paid 9 ETH for a moonbird. They paid like $20,000. That wasn't just any moonbird. It was like a rare one, right? It was on fire. It looked cool. I'm not gonna lie. Would I ever pay 20 grand for that? No. But I'm not really I'm not at all in the moonbirds community. Every now and then when the floor rises or when they make noise, I cover it because it makes noise and it shows up on my Twitter feed. And I cover that. And then I use that to say like, hey, I see more money coming into VeVe. I relate this going into VeVe because the people in Moonbird's Telegram was like trashing the devs for a while because the price kept going lower, and then suddenly the price tripled. The price of the floor went up, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, this is what happens when you put your head down and you work. You don't need to communicate; you just need to work. Show everyone that you're. It's like nothing changed. The price just went up. So I'm not part of the community at all. I think they're cool. I think the one that sold recently for 9 ETH looks really cool because it's on fire like a freaking phoenix. Again, I would never pay for that. I would never pay 20 grand for that. And I use that as an example to say like, hey, this is worth 75 times what first appearance Grogu is. And that is a horrible inbounds. Like, I don't think that is right at all. And I think a lot of stuff on VeVe is undervalued. So again, I just love to hear Cosmo talk about Web3 at large. Be like, hey, because he knows so much more about other, like I specialize in like 4 or 5 different tokens and projects, right? Because that's really all I can do while building a comic universe, while doing my normal OTC stuff with people and deals, and then just connecting people as a broker or as a person. Like I ask me anything about Moonbirds, I have no idea. But Cosmo I assume has a couple. I assume he's in that project. I assume he has Pengu. I assume like Cosmo's in so many different projects, and can he know all of them intimately? No, but is he in them enough where if something out of the ordinary happens, like, okay, here's the realm of normalcy, and here's this thing that happened that perked his ears a little bit. I want to hear that because one, I trust him. Like, he's not just going to be like, yeah, but guys, this thing is how. He's not going to make it seem like, because if he tells me like, hey, you know what, I saw this in this project and I really like because of X, Y, and Z, like I'll probably buy it because again, I trust him. And if he has a big bag of something, he's not going to say like, yeah, everyone should buy this because super undervalued because blah blah blah. He would only do, again, I don't think he would ever tell anyone to, like, he might tell me because like we're friends, but I would just love to hear him say like, hey guys, yeah, just so you all know, I have a little bit here, a little bit there, but here's something out of the ordinary that I heard. And yeah, whether he has a little bit of them or not, I would just love to hear him say, this is what normally happens in this community, and this is what happened that's outside of that realm of normalcy. And I want to see how many times that happens over the course of a week. And this is why I think he should do weekly shows about those things and be like, here's what normally happens, here's what did happen. And if he wants to give his interpretation of that, that would be great. Uh, because again, like, I could take that information and be like, okay, if I went into that community and maybe this is what it means, but I would love to hear his interpretation of that. He doesn't have to, because again, if there's so much other things that happen in Web3, he could be talking for like 3 hours and he probably doesn't want to do that. But I would love to see that because that would help me and that would help you guys also as well keep up with all of these other projects. And just because a company is like fascinating doesn't mean that it'll work, right? Like, so Front Fans is a organization that, hi Mr. MC1. Front Fans is an organization that they took what OnlyFans did, and OnlyFans, there's a lot of chargebacks. Like, my friend, she might be on the podcast again. My friend Stacy, she's been on the podcast before. Nastasia Bendler, I think I put her as her last name as, or Stas. She's an OnlyFans model, and she's got a specific type because she's very tatted. She's very very rocker chick. I freaking love her. And she says that, like, yeah, like sometimes you'll get like this big tip, you'll get this big whatever, and you'll release this content, but then the person, like, they'll have like, you get a chargeback because the person like calls their company like, hey, my account was hacked, or hey, I didn't mean to purchase this, right? And a lot of times the banks, they side with you and they do that. So they're not going to side with her. So she gets and I've interviewed a bunch of OnlyFans models, and I'm friends with a bunch of OnlyFans models, and this is a common theme in what they say is like, yeah, whenever you get like, your supposed money for like the month, take off like 10% or 20% because that's how many chargebacks like they get, that they don't actually get that money because the banks charge that back. So what Front Fans did is they said, hey, we're going to do an OnlyFans like type of model, but instead we're going to have people pay in crypto. So they use their credit card to buy this crypto, and then they use the crypto to tip the girls. But then they can't charge back because they already made the purchase in crypto, and they gave the crypto to the girls. So that really helps the girls. A lot of people want to go on there. And I remember looking at it recently, and it wasn't doing that well. I don't know the name. All right, so it's called FanX, and it had, oh God, $400 in volume, or $486 in volume last 24 hours. It's a $12,000 market cap. It is now the price of Quad 04. It was 100x at one point. It was 4 cents, and now it's Quad 04. And very very little market cap. Again, so at 100x, because you actually know 100x. Is this so at 4 cents it's 1 0. So it gained 3 zeros actually. And again, yeah, that's wild. So this was actually 22. This is actually like a 22 million fully diluted market cap at one point, and now fully diluted is 22,000. Might actually be time to buy. No, I'm joking. So just because it's an interesting business model doesn't mean that it's going to work. And I thought this was cool. I had them on the channel. They were great. And it wasn't like they were like you had these two people that were in the industry, and it's like, okay, they know what other girls want. They know the needs. They know the ebbs and flows. Yeah, January 4th, 2024, they were at 4.3 cents. They were actually at 4.5 at one point. So again, just because it's an interesting business model and like, hey, this could work, doesn't mean that it will. And again, I don't know if they're still operating $400 in volume. I don't think they are. But who knows? What are we going on? Mr. Emerson was a great interview with David Yu yesterday. Yeah, I really gotta rewatch that back. Says agree. Yeah. Call me Phil saying, yep. Yeah, DBZ would be wild. It would be awesome. I'd love to see it. Maybe one day. Season Curly says, boom, shakalaka already. Oh, what's up, Season? It's a great name. Dude, Epic Stash as well. Epic Stash. I'm gonna try to bridge more OMI here. All of the things that you can see. All right, we're gonna bridge. What are we gonna bridge here? 529,600 minutes. Ooh, my body. All right, we're gonna bridge a little bit of OMI here. Kuma says Minecraft would be awesome too. My kids are all crazy for Minecraft. Were or are? I don't know how old your kids are. By the way, who else is coming? Is your family coming to the charity event? Are they coming for the stay? You come for the stay. What are we doing? Yeah, you gotta give me a list of what you want to do, and me and Magic and the OMI homies and Tammy, we will. So me and Tammy will be there from Saturday through. We'll be there all week. That you are. The OMI homies and VeVe Magic, they'll be there from Tuesday to Tuesday, so they get there on that Tuesday. We're there, and then they're there for a couple extra days. So yeah, let me know what my back you wanna do on vampires. How cool an error has occurred. How cool would it be if they dropped Michael Bro? Yeah, that'd be wild. I don't like that there was an error. Oh, it says that it's sent though. 37. Yeah, it said that I don't know why there's an error. It said that it's sent to from base. Okay, OMI on base. Sorry. Let me if I refresh it. Yeah, dude, that would be insane if we could get Michael Jackson. I don't know who has the. Okay, it did go. Very good. Be cool if they dropped Michael Jackson as Thrill outfit, and then you could use AI to make synchronized dances. Oh my god! Oh, Captain America zombie. That dude, that would be awesome. Yo, Mr. MC1. Popeyes is so good, right? Oh god, my body. Yeah, Popeyes is great. Popeyes is amazing. Oh, you got that OMI? You got that OMI, girl? Okay. I'm gonna try to do another. I'll bridge that later. Where was I? Go back. MasterCard partners with Chainlink to enable billions of cardholders to purchase crypto directly on chain. Okay, that's good. Nasdaq listed SharpLink Gaming just bought another 12,207 Ethereum worth $30.6 million. Amazing. Definity Markets goes and said, oh, okay. I think they had a thing the other day. Let me go to them. Level 65. Let's go. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Definity Market says everyone's watching the inflows and we're building the infrastructure. Easy to get caught up in the excitement. ETF inflows, all-time high, headlines, stablecoin supply climbing, and more companies buying Bitcoin. And don't get us wrong, these signals matter. They reflect conviction, they move markets, they turn heads. But while the spotlight tracks where the capital is, very few are asking how it gets there and what infrastructure is quietly enabling that flow. Because without secure, compliant, and interoperable rails, those flows don't just slow down, they never scale. That's where we come in. At Definity, we're not just chasing narratives, we're engineering the infrastructure that institutions require to move size safely, efficiently, and without friction. That means aggregated liquidity from multiple venues, not a single price feed. Counterparty familiarity for regulated funds, not shadowy wallets. Settlement tools that mirror TradFi but live natively on chain. As the industry rushes to tokenize assets and integrate digital markets, the winners won't be defined by who shouted the loudest. They'll be defined by who quietly built the infrastructure. And when capital finally starts flowing at scale, it'll be our infrastructure carrying it. Let's go, Definity. Get this bread. Call Me Philly says, we need the tar baby from the Song of the South movie. I feel like that's probably, it seems that it might be a little racist, so I'll have to listen to it. I'll let you know. Congratulations, Kuma. Yeah, family coming, but you and I are definitely hanging. Oh, heck yeah. So every now and so I posted on Facebook the other day. Oh, I got a notification. I don't check Facebook that often. What did I say? There was a group message where somebody was like, my girlfriend found me sleeping on the couch with my phone on my chest, listening to Chavez Megacity. That's me. Says it's getting worse every year. Somebody else said, relatable. Randy has been in my bed multiple times. So I commented, I posted on Facebook. I was like, the amount of girlfriends and wives coming up to me and saying that their partner listens to me in bed is astounding. So I posted on Facebook, like, if I had $1 for every time a woman came up to me and said, my husband or boyfriend listens to you in bed, I'd have like $20. And is that a lot of money? No. But I think it's weird it's happened this many times. So what are the rules? Because if we go out and we go crazy, is wifey gonna be mad that I got a little drunk? Wifey gonna be mad that like gonna be sleeping most of the next day? We gotta set some ground rules there. Because I don't wanna have wifey get mad. Be magic in the I saw on the 29th, I think that's that Friday, big VeVe meetup. But obviously we're all gonna chill all week. We're all gonna do, whatever. As much or as little as you want. We could have an intense couple of days, or we could be like, yeah, we'll meet for dinner, we'll meet for breakfast, whatever. And then obviously, family time. Or it could be like, I go with you everywhere. I whatever you want. Thanks, Zombie. All right, let's get back to this news here, because there be a ton of it. $250 million of the USDC was minted at 12:59 p.m. on 24 June. Damn. DMC is now listed on Kraken FX, Zoom, the Kraken exchange. Founders Fund is rumored to be leading a $200 million fundraising round into Polymarket. Love them. Summer is hot. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev says that crypto will replace traditional finance. I repeat, crypto will replace traditional finance. Agreed. Liquidation alert. There was $11 billion in shorts that would get liquidated if Bitcoin pumped crazily. And Bitcoin was up to like 108 at one point. I think it's 107 now, but see where we're at. Yeah, 107.6. ETH 20. I want, come on, ETH. Go to like 5K, please. I want you to go crazy. Not resist people. People just, okay. So yeah, Oh, I've been doing my name for years now. Okay, well, I will try to be on my best behavior and try to keep the weirdness to a minimum. Spread my wings and fly away. What I'll do is that Dr. Elliot Reed from Scrubs, she liked this one guy. I forget his name. I think he was the main character for a little while. Not JD. Like I think his name was Sean, and she liked him, and she was like a little cray cray, right? She was a little crazy, but she wasn't delulu about it. She like knew that she was crazy, so she's like, okay. She would start to get the crazy out in little spurts around, like when she was alone, near her friends, and then when she was around him, she could be like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm chill. So maybe the like the day or two before I get there, I'll autistically explain to every person I see why Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best Star Wars character, why people should really love, I don't know, like Skuntank from the Pokemon anime or Pokemon series, how he actually has flamethrower out the butt, can actually learn that, and it's in the game. In the anime, freeze flamethrower through his mouth. In the games, it's through his booty or his little stink hole, whatever skunks have. And then maybe by the time I do all that, and by the time your family comes, like SpongeBob, hey, how are you? We'll see. We all just human colors of psyop. Agreed. When we're on the Lucy, we're all just energy, bro. We're all just energy and frequencies. Movie White Chicks is racist. Oh, bro, White Chicks is so good. That is such a good movie. So good. I think the reason why South Park gets away with it is because like nobody's safe. You know, they just get everybody. I'm a firm believer, make fun of everyone. If you're gonna make someone, make fun of everyone. BlackRock yesterday bought 11,185 ETH, worth 27 million on Coinbase. You can't tell me ETH isn't gonna pump to like $5 grand, right? You can't tell me that it's not gonna. Somebody got Amazing Spider-Man #5, secret rare. They got it for 200, and I think. Did I see it? Incorrigible Goat Slayer. Was that you that got the Amazing Spider-Man #5 on the? Oh yes. Oh no, you got 55. My boy got #5. Okay. Anyway. Elon says, think of Tesla as the world's largest semi-sentient robot company. Wild. Let's read what it says. With Tesla Autopilot or full self-driving, we're effectively creating the most advanced practical AI for navigating the real world. You can always think of Tesla as the world's biggest robot company or semi-sentient robot company. The car is kind of a robot on 4 wheels. So then, well, we could probably take that same technology and put it in a humanoid robot and have that robot be useful. And that was actually on December 21. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the news, but I have to hang for a little bit. Hold on, my body. I'm just going to do some pull-ups real quick and straighten out the back. Give me what you got on me. Isn't my love strong enough? Ready to rock you wrong and wrong. That song is very dirty. I think. Okay. Not bad. Okay. See, I had Popeyes. I had some mac and cheese, and that should be enough for the day. But I'm getting hungry now because I've had to use my brain. I'm almost done with Nike the Pig. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on page like 24. I have no way to end this. It's such a big comic, and there's a big battle, and there's so many epic characters, and I don't know how to end this in a way. Like the amount of quantum and theoretical physics I had to learn, and also botanism. The amount of stuff I had to learn for Nike the Pig is insane. I hope y'all appreciate this when this comes out. A lot of research went into it. Okay, all right, go back to the news here. Back to the news. Nancy Mace, love you. Joined GOP to block Progress. 128 Democrats joined the House GOP to block Progressive's bid to impeach Trump. Well, I'm glad to see people are reaching across the aisle. More EVs are now sold every year in China than cars of all sorts are sold in the US. This trend isn't stopping. EVs are all the growth of the global auto market since 2017. God damn. I saw a TikTok the other day that said, walked into my dad just sitting on the couch watching Bigfoot vlog. The stuff that Gen X finds entertaining is pretty cool. We got here. White Chicks, but yeah, bro, White Chicks is so good. It's so good. We should watch that movie. We should, yeah, watch it. Yeah, we should watch that movie, bro. So there's this one. Let's see if I could find him. There's this one dude on TikTok that he like never had a white friend before, and then he goes in and he like finds a white friend. Okay, yeah, this dude. Is it pinned? Should be pinned.
I got my first white friend. I ain't talking about like one of my white. You know what I'm saying?
So this guy finds his first he gets his first white friend, and they go to see like How to Train Your Dragon, and he's just like, bro, it was great. And then he just goes on explaining, just telling everyone's like, all right, for the homies, like, get yourself a white friend, because like, and now he's gone to like a trading card store, and it's like, bro, all of these, like, they had all the Pokemon that I had when I was younger, but they have them like all like remixed now, and they got some new stuff with new art, and he's just like a kid in a freaking candy shop. I don't know what he was doing. Was he just like, he just moved recently, so I don't know if he's like, if he was just like hard, if he was living that like in the hood, and now he's like not in the hood. Either way, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I think, for as much as the news says we hate each other, it's so pure to see people like this and say like,
he got me going to go see. Watch it, folks.
I play the ending.
That movie was fire.
See, straight fire.
Not only was the movie fire, he had this in the HD theater, the bigger screen. I definitely wasn't gonna pay for them tickets. I ain't even been in the HD section. He had me end up watching the movie, had heated seats. That was a fire-ass movie. Like, Gabby, my boy, y'all get y'all some white friends. I'm telling you, I got my first white friend.
See, out of all the stuff where the news says that we hate each other, and this dude's on here saying, get yourself some white friends. Straight fire, bro. Straight fire. Anyway. Certain movies that we loved could never be made now, unfortunately. Yeah. People are too soft, don't know how to take a joke. Yeah, bro. That movie, even back in, even when that came out, I guess it was just like, we accepted it because he was like, well, no, he's not. I mean, he is playing a black guy, but they explain it in the movie. Like, in the movie, they say, oh, the Australian actor, whatever Robert Downey Jr.'s name was in the movie, like, Australian actor, had this controversial thing where he gets surgery to play a black man, like, in the Tropic Thunder movie. And I was like, oh, that's so smart how they did that. But yeah, obviously people just see like the blackface, and oh god, that movie was so good. Loved Argentine Tropic Thunder. His character was lit, bro. That was I think he's like taking a piss next to someone, and one of the characters just like, this is what I mean, like, with you people, and then Robert Downey Jr. is like, what do you mean, you people? And then the actual black character, like, this was like, what do you mean, you people? He's like, oh, and I crack up every time. His face is so freaking good. That character was just written so well, and we need more of those characters. Future's hydrogen. I don't know. There's a buddy of mine that had a hydrogen truck company. It didn't do well. It was like hydrogen buses. Forget what it was called, like Hyperion or something, or Pegasus something. I forget. I have not seen, and just because I haven't seen doesn't mean it's not real, right? I have not seen because I haven't looked for it, but I have not seen a company that has had a hydrogen car where they have stations and they have, what's that called? Also, if y'all could smash that like button, that would be great. It'd be a free way to help support the channel. I'll be my bays. I haven't seen a company that's had a successful hydrogen car that's like for mass production that everyone can use. I did not even know that was Tom Cruise, like, in it. I think like the credits, they showed it, and I was like, wait, that's Tom Cruise? Because he's like a fat balding man. I was like, oh. What I really liked in there is that he was playing Wii tennis. I was like, oh, no way. I thought that was cool. I wonder if Nintendo paid them for that. I wonder if they paid them for that. Anyway, congrats to Bill Gardner for being the random winner of the Maserati poll question giveaway. Thank you for voting, and stay tuned for even more chances to win Oh, also, Crappy is now on the Binance wallet. Shout out to Crappy Bird for that. They're doing very nicely. Senator Cynthia Lummis says Congress is crafting clear and innovative digital asset market structure legislation. Good. The Amazing Spider-Man 1963 was bought for $1,500. The mint number 1963. That was a bounty from Comics and Crypto, and they got it. Oh yeah, Blazing Saddles was great. Gene Wilder, great. Yeah, Blazing Saddles, great movie. Yeah. What I cannot wait for is Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Also, President Trump's Truth Social files for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. I repeat, Trump's Truth Social files for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF with the New York Stock Exchange. The SUI network says, start your engines or rev up those flyers. No, they don't say flyers. But Delorean just became the first motor company to build on-chain. They're also the first to enable on-chain governance via DMC, giving their community a real voice in what comes next. Shout out to SUI network. They have 1 million followers for quoting that stuff. Binance founder CZ says, if you sold the dip, you need to unfollow the weak minds and follow the right people. I repeat, CZ says, if you sold the dip, you need to unfollow the weak minds and follow the right people. Preach. There was this Reggie Ice that sold for 10,000 doll hairs. It was a Reggie Ice Gold Star PSA 10. Not a lot of those. Wait, boobs? Oh, right. Well, yep, okay. Vice President J.D. Vance slams Fed Chair Jerome Powell, says, I'd love to hear an argument why Powell cut rates 50 points right before an election, but can't do it now with inflation lower. Yeah, same. Foster Hilt yesterday says, not speaking to importance of exchange listings, but almost half of the user base is located in the US and would not be able to access the token on an exchange like Binance. Preach. Also, KuCoin says 24-hour top 5 gainers on KuCoin, Newt, MGO, DMC, BN, and DeFi, whatever DeFi is. Donald Trump calling out fake news CNN. Nothing new there. Crypto firm BitGo's assets in custody jumped to top 100 billion, and Bitcoin volatility declined to below that of gold for the first time recently. This meme I thought was hilarious. It says, quick and easy dinner fix today from a guy named Jokum. And you have Linus Sex Tips. Says, Mexican food would hit the Nordics like smallpox hit the natives. Because, like, look at, like, that is not a dinner. That is like a little fish skin and lettuce and a pickle in a sad piece of looking white bread. Nordics need Mexican food so badly. They would love it. The flavor, they'd probably be on the toilet. Anyway, California Senator Adam Schiff introduces the COIN Act to address Trump's crypto ties. The bill aims to prevent financial exploitation of digital assets by public officials, including the president and the first family. I don't know why I'm probably fine with this, because what happens when you don't have stuff like this? You have people like Nancy Pelosi that trade on inside information, and again, you have stuff like that. So I'm fine with this. We have a VeVe dance floor coming out. Get ready to step into the spotlight. VeVe Dance Floor Dream Series brings the party to your digital collection. These 3D animated dioramas pulse with energy, featuring color shifting floors, shimmering backdrops, and full lighting rigs. Whether you're after the bold heat of an infrared rush, the cool calm of an ultraviolet drift, or the vibrant rhythm of neon pulse, the VeVe dioramas offer immersive 3D environments designed to elevate your digital collection. And I don't even know if I have it here. Oh, that's the camera. I don't need the camera on. What do they have here? They've got, oh, also they have Jubilee coming out. And I'm not gonna lie, they make her look a little too good. I feel like they make her look too good. Okay, here's enough. Okay. They have Jubilee. They have 1,989 commons because she came out. She first appeared in 1989, so they have her there. They have her with the special glasses that she always has. There are then, and that's for the common special. There's 89 common specials. The full charge, which is the uncommons, 1,350 editions. Spark Strike, I don't even know what this is, but it is 900 rare. Looks good. Looks good. What is the ultra rare over here? Ultra rare is 500. I like her in all black. I wish for this, I get the yellow jacket is like kind of like April O'Neil. It's like part of her, but having her in all black would be really cool. And then you have the secret rare, that's 250, and yeah, that looks fine. Crop top. Which one's my favorite? The full charge looks good. The yeah, it's uncommon because you've got like the bubble gum. The special, honestly, the special looks like she's like a housewife getting ready to do the dishes, you know. And then and the common's fine. Honestly, the uncommon's one that actually looks the best. And then they have the VeVe dioramas. Let me take a look at this here. Show y'all the dance floor dreams. This one has 1,111 editions. That looks fine. Looks fine. This one, the infrared rush, has 555 editions. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see too much of a difference. Okay, there's in the back, it's colored like a little more red, a little more reddish. And then the last one is the secret rare, and that's more of a bluish background. And I think there's a bottle. Oh no, there's a bottle on all of them. Shoot. And yeah, so that's that. They're $20 each. They might make a couple grand with it, which is all theirs, so that's fine. And we're at 2 hours here. What do we got? Star saying Sparta. I don't know. I can't link. I can't see that link from here. Like I can't click it. DM me, tag me. Need a VeVe hat. How do I get one? I think you have to buy a gold logo, and then get a gold. I think you have to buy a gold logo, and then ask Sanjay to make one. I think that's how it's been done as of recently. But I don't know how. Oh, I have another one, but I mean this is my 41, so you'd have to pay. You'd have to pay a pretty penny for that. Popular. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. BlackRock, Fidelity, and ARK Invest has bought $565 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. BlackRock has bought an additional $98 million worth of Ethereum, bullish for ETH. This is yesterday. Oh, there was a bunch. So the Mario Pikachu set and the Pikachus in other costumes. This entire set, PSA 10, it sold for like $69,000 2 weeks ago. $82,000 now. Wild. One of the BlackRock stuff. The official Assassin's Creed account liked Cosmic Disarray's video of Assassin's Creed in the VeVeverse. I thought that was cool. I thought that was great. It said, "Happy birthday, Ezio, VeVe official." I thought that was dope. Just a couple more posts here. Charles Delgado says, first appearance Bullseye, ultra rare and secret rare comics he picked up today. He hit 400 sets on VeVe. Damn. He went hard. Chris Severs says, I think that was my first ultra rare market buy, and he's been adding ever since. One of the top 3 favorites, and Bullseye, of course. Way to go on the set achievement. I went over that. New York City is going to become not good. Oh, Larry and his box. So if anyone has, go to my collection here. Anyone has Larry the Lobster and Larry the Lobster box, they were airdropped recently. And it's like, okay, why were we airdropped this? So Brock says Larry and his airbox went out to everyone who had a Korra in their collection from Tokidoki. It was 1 per Korra. So have fun if you're a Myrmekornos fan. Tried something different this time where I rewarded collectors who have held something since season 1. And since I held one since season 1, I got an airdrop, which I thought they were cool. 2 ultra rares, they're looking pretty dope. So that's that. Got more missions, and guys, I've been going for 2 hours, so I'm going to bounce here. I'm going to thank Bill Gardner for the essence for the what's that called, super chat. Everyone, please say bye-bye to Dashi. And yep. Yeah. Bye-bye, Dashi. I will catch you all later. Until tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be rough. But I will be live tomorrow. And then Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I just have a lot of meetings. And a long one tomorrow. All right. I love y'all. Class dismissed. I'll catch y'all later. Goodbye, guys. Everyone say bye. All right, we say goodbye to Dashi.